The intensive production demands of poppy cultivation offer unique opportunities to women in a society that traditionally frowns on female labor. Dr. Anis Agdar is head of the Badakhshan department of the Women's Ministry.
واقعا که یک زن که زمینش کشت میکنه و یک عاید زیاد به وجود به دست میاره و زمیندار هم است، از نگاه اقتصادی که تقویتش خوب عین موقف مرد هم میگیره. فرق بین مرد و زن در افغانستان همیست که زن آورنده مواد غذایی به خانه است در غیر از او کدام.
Poppy cultivation has gone through the roof in Badakhshan in recent years. And given that one of the main reasons cited by coalition leaders for going to war in Afghanistan in October 2001 was to stamp out the burgeoning opium trade, a British-funded eradication campaign was launched 2 years ago. Last year, they paid cash compensation to farmers whose crops they had eradicated, but this simply encouraged more farmers to grow poppy. So this year, the compensation package has been scrapped, and now, just as the back-breaking 7-month production cycle nears its end, the eradicators are back, and farmers are angry.
امی تریاکه بوشه پا مرا بوشه پا اینه مرا بزن اینه مرا بزن بالیاز خدا بالیاز خرامپتی نام بتی گندم بتی نام بتی خیلی تابه کرد که بالیاز خدا
میریم ما هر زمین سری هر زمینی که میریم از کشتالی ما میگیره از تپی ما میگیره ما را دو میزنم دشمن میدن ما بیرون میگم ما غریب هستیم بیچاره هستیم هیچ چیز نداریم ما همین کنگنار است میگه دولت گمش که ما گمش میکنیم ولی همین بیچاره غریب دولت کمک کنه نه بیچاره برادر کدام زمین داره زمین مردم است پاسرکار است برادر غریب است دست طفل بگیره مجبور است افغانستان بره
که ضد بشر است ضد چیز است ما از مجبوری این مردم خراب میکنه کار نیست دیگه کس نیست گندم ارزان است از مجبوری میکنیم از مجبوری میکنیم ما دیگه دولت با ما کار پیدا کنه دولت برای ما کار پیدا کنه وطن ما دولت آباد بکنه بازسازی شروع بکنه نام بده برای ملت غریب نام بده ما همین کارا نمیکنیم.
But the task of eradication has been assigned to provincial governors, many of whom have a vested interest in the drugs trade. Ikramuddin, the governor of Badakhshan, has already been paid more than $100,000 to destroy poppy fields. But the campaign has only just begun, and evidence suggests the effort is largely symbolic.
واقعا عکس العمل‌های مردم بسیار زیاد جدی است. چرا خب اکثر مردم فقیری هستند که یک جریب دو جریب اونجا کشتی کوکنار دارن زندگیشان متکی به عمو است. از آنمو طریق تامین معیشت میکنن و زندگی خود پیش میبرن. امروز وضعیت قسمی شده که یک جریب زمینی از او تخریب میشه و آدم فکر میکنه که خلاص تمام امکانات زندگی از دست از آدم گرفته میشه و همونجاست که دست به عکس العمل میزنه.
But it is not just the increasing production and traffic of opium that worries the authorities. The use of narcotics also threatens to spiral out of control. And after 25 years of war and suffering, who could be blamed for relying on heroin to take the pain away?
The impact is particularly severe in the neighboring countries. Iran has 3.5 million drug addicts, the highest rate in the world, associated to a very high percentage of these drug addicts affected by HIV/AIDS. In Kyrgyzstan, in Kazakhstan, in Tajikistan, up to 90%, between 80 and 90% of the drug addicts are HIV positive, and 90% of the new HIV cases are coming from drug addiction.
Since 1984, the production of opium in Afghanistan has increased 20-fold, with over 85% of its provinces now producing the drug. After cultivation, opium and its refined derivative heroin are then trafficked through Central Asia, Pakistan and Iran and on to the rest of the world. Globally, the rate of heroin addiction stands at around 0.3%. In Afghanistan, that figure doubles. In Pakistan and Central Asia, it triples. In Iran, there are 9 times more drug addicts than the global average. But as is so often the case in post-conflict situations, even when the will exists to tackle a problem, the necessary resources rarely do. There are some rehabilitation centers opening up in Kabul, but there is a desperate shortage of beds available to addicts. Law enforcement efforts have met with limited success in the way of seizures, but they remain understaffed and under-resourced. And in such a heavily under-resourced environment as Afghanistan, corruption flourishes, adding a potent fuel to the fire of the drugs trade. General Halal is Deputy Minister of the Interior.
یک تعداد دیگه از موقعیت‌های دولتی که در وجود دارن در بخش‌های مختلف در حمایت از این پروسه قرار گرفتن. ما یقین و باور دارم که تا زمانی که در پشت این پروسه حکام دولتی منسوبین دولت قرار نداشته باشه، این پروسه را با این ابعادش در جامعه ما ممکن نیست که عملی شود و بتواند قاچاقبرای مواد مخدر.
But perhaps the greatest threat that the opium economy poses is to Afghanistan's nascent democracy and its ability to hold free and fair elections. So long as drug resources remain in the hands of regional commanders, central government will continue to be thwarted in its effort to impose the rule of law. And without the rule of law, democracy and reconstruction will continue to elude the Afghan people.